Welcome back to Danis podcast, where today we're venturing into the tangled world of politics and economics. In this episode, we're digging into capitalism, socialism, communism, and how they all line up on the political spectrum. So, grab a drink, get cozy, and let's dive in. Picture a giant political spectrum stretching from left to right. On the left, you'll find ideologies that prioritize equality, collective welfare, and sometimes a stronger government role. On the right, individual freedoms, limited government intervention, and a thriving free market reign supreme. But where exactly do capitalism, socialism, and communism sit on this spectrum, and why are they so polarizing? It's like a tug of war, and everyone wants to be the one steering the rope. Let's kick off with capitalism, the engine of most Western economies. Capitalism is like a bustling city market. Every stall, shop, and street vendor is driven by the desire to stand out, make a profit, and attract customers. The beauty of capitalism is that, in theory, it thrives when individuals are free to pursue their own interests. This drives innovation, competition, and yes, those shiny new tech gadgets we can't live without. Capitalism's motto? If you can dream it and work hard enough, you can achieve it. But the downside to capitalism is that not everyone can succeed equally. Capitalism, by nature, creates winners and losers. Think about wealth disparity. The US has some of the wealthiest people in the world, yet there are also millions struggling to make ends meet. In an ideal capitalist society, the wealth from innovation and entrepreneurship trickles down to everyone. But in reality, you often get a party where the wealthy are enjoying lobster at a VIP table while others are just trying to find a seat. Now, let's slide over to the left side of the spectrum and meet socialism. Socialism believes in collective welfare and aims to minimize economic inequality by ensuring that basic needs like healthcare, education, and housing are accessible to everyone. Picture socialism as a communal dinner, where everyone brings what they can and everyone gets a fair portion. Countries like Sweden and Denmark are often considered social democracies. They've managed to balance a strong welfare state with a capitalist economy, ensuring social services without stifling individual ambition. The Nordic countries still embrace capitalism, but they use tax revenue to build a safety net. This best of both worlds approach has earned them some of the highest happiness ratings globally. Imagine being at a party where there's food for everyone, and if you're short on cash, the host's got your back. However, socialism has its pitfalls. Some critics argue that it disincentivizes personal ambition and can lead to a bloated government. When there's less personal reward for hard work, the question arises, who will go the extra mile? It's a tricky balance between encouraging individual success and supporting the collective. Swinging to the far left, we find communism. Communism aims to create a classless society, where everyone has equal access to resources, and private property is a thing of the past. In theory, everyone contributes according to their ability and receives according to their need, a world without economic disparity. Imagine a utopian party where everyone pitches in equally and shares what's available. But the reality of communism has been far from utopian. Look at North Korea or the former Soviet Union. In practice, communism has often led to authoritarian rule, limited freedoms, and economic scarcity. Imagine a party where you have no say over the music, food, or activities, and the host controls everything. The goal might be equality, but the cost is usually personal freedom and economic choice. The political spectrum doesn't just span left to right, it also moves vertically. The up-down spectrum ranges from liberal to authoritarian. A liberal government emphasizes individual freedoms and rights, aiming for a society where people have a say in both their personal and economic lives. Meanwhile, an authoritarian government focuses on order and control, often suppressing personal freedoms in favor of national unity or stability. For example, while China has embraced aspects of capitalism, the Chinese government remains authoritarian, curtailing freedoms of speech and assembly. You could start a business in China, but voicing opposition to the government can land you in trouble. On the other hand, countries like Sweden are both left-leaning and liberal, promoting social welfare while protecting individual rights. In the US, we see a capitalist economy with some elements of social welfare, like Social Security and Medicaid. It's a balancing act, often leading to debates about the role of government in citizens' lives. Should taxes be higher to support more welfare programs? Or should individuals be responsible for their own success? It's like a potluck dinner, where everyone's debating over how much food they should bring. China presents a mix of capitalism and authoritarianism. While entrepreneurs can innovate and compete in the market, the government maintains control over personal freedoms. It's like a party with an open bar, but if you get too rowdy, the bouncer's quick to intervene. Venezuela is a cautionary tale. Once a wealthy country with vast oil reserves, it adopted socialist policies under Hugo Chavez to redistribute wealth and provide social programs. However, with mismanagement and corruption, Venezuela's economy collapsed, and basic necessities became scarce. It's like a potluck where the food runs out halfway, and everyone's left scrambling for scraps. What's the big takeaway? Each of these systems has its strengths and flaws, and there's no one-size-fits-all answer. Capitalism encourages innovation but can lead to inequality. Socialism supports equality but can sometimes stifle ambition. And communism, while idealistic, has proven difficult to sustain without sacrificing freedoms. The ideal system? Maybe a balance between personal freedom, social welfare, and a government that's responsive to its citizens. Thanks for joining us on Danis Podcast. Remember, political ideologies and economic systems aren't just abstract ideas, they impact our everyday lives, shaping everything from job opportunities to social programs. If you enjoyed this episode, subscribe and stay tuned for more deep dives into the topics that matter. Keep questioning, keep exploring, and until next time, cheers.